Hi, my name is Nick with Emerald Lawns. I'm a manager here up in Temple, and we're starting a new series called Tech Talk, where we're going to go through the lawn, see what's going on, mention some different stuff that you'll see on the property and kind of how we treat it, kind of what makes our service a little different than what you can get at your local store. But why don't you follow me? We'll kind of take a look at what's going on. Okay, so this time of year, you're going to see a lot of your winter grasses. You have a mix of Dallas grass, crabgrass, you have some poana, and you just have a lot of winter annual grasses. So what we're going to do on these areas is we're going to be able to spray these with some special weed control that will kind of start to slowly kill them. Grassy weeds take a couple weeks to start yellowing and dying out. Biggest thing with when you have weeds like this is you want to mow consistently every week as these things start to grow. That helps control the weeds from spreading, kind of helps knock them down. But we're going to take a look on the other side of this fence at some kind of big broadleaf weeds. So why don't you follow me, we'll take a look real quick. Okay, so right here we got what's called henbit. This is a very common broadleaf weed that you're gonna see. It flowers these little purple flowers up top, which will kind of cause these to spread. Now these broadleaf weeds are pretty tough to kill. It takes about 2 treatments to really get them under control. And as you can see, they grow pretty tall. So like we mentioned before, you want to make sure to mow these weekly. We'll come out, we spray it. If you have a heavy infestation of these henbit weeds, we'll come out a second time to retreat these. And as you can see behind, we got a crepe myrtle. We also come out here and fertilize trees and shrubs. So this crepe myrtle, right now we're finishing our round 1 dormant oil. And so your dormant oil, we're going to spray it on, and it's going to help kill off any wintering insects and any eggs that they leave behind. But that's something else we could talk about on another video. Thank you. So as we mentioned before, we have a mix of grassy weeds right here. So a big thing that's different between us and the stuff you can buy at the kind of the big Home Depot, Lowe's stores is the concoction of weed control that we use. So we have what's called selective herbicide. So the stuff we're using this time of year, we have 4 different ingredients that we're mixing in. We have some stuff that will treat some of this winter grassy weeds, such as poana. You have some annual winter grasses. We have some different stuff that will treat this little henbit that we mentioned earlier. And we have different stuff to treat kind of your broadleaf thistles and prickly lettuce and kind of all these broadleaf weeds that you're going to see right here. But as I mentioned before, the stuff we're using is selective herbicide. It's not going to harm the grass. It's just going to target the weeds that are growing in your grass. As I mentioned before, biggest thing with weed control on your end is mowing weekly. Helps control these weeds from growing and spreading, and also kind of help that weed control that we spray kind of take into the roots and kind of kill them faster. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this, but you take a look, and if you have any questions, just give us a call. Nick here again. I just wanted to stop by and talk to you about our first application that we're putting down. A common question that we get asked is, why are you treating my yard? If it's brown, it's dormant. So just want to talk to you for a second about that. So what we're putting down today is called RGS. It's a soil and root stimulator. It also helps balance the pH of the soil. So a more neutral pH in the soil will allow a thicker grass and a better turf that you will have. So this helps kind of level that pH and provide some extra nutrients for the roots underneath the ground. So it's not going to do so much for the grass blades above. It's not going to help green it up or anything, but it's going to help prepare it to come out of dormancy. So we're at the end of January. We've had a pretty warm winter, so grass is going to start coming out of dormancy probably here at the tail end of February. So as it comes out of dormancy, this is going to help strengthen those roots so it comes out of dormancy nice, bright and green and thick. So if you have any questions. So as you can see on these weeds, so this is St. Augustine, and you're starting to see some purple discoloration on these little tips of the blades of the grass. So this is from freeze damage. So earlier in the winter we had some couple days where the temperatures dropped pretty low. When you start seeing that purple discoloration, it's not a fungus, it's not a disease, it's just freeze damage that you're starting to see. So we're going to come treat some weeds, so if you want to follow me over there, we'll take a look. Application at this customer's house. I went ahead and put our liquid fertilizer on the yard. I spot treated for grassy weeds as well as the broadleaf weeds. Customer had a lot of grassy weeds on the side of the house and a bunch of henbit. So we're going to go ahead and set up a free service call to come back out in about 2 weeks and retreat those weeds. I let the customer know that he needs to mow the whole yard, including all those weeds, to help control those weeds from growing and spreading. I also let them know that the first time you mow, as it's coming out of dormancy, you want to scalp the lawn. You want to lower that mower height pretty short, and you're going to bag all those clippings. What you're wanting to do is cut off all that dormant brown grass and encourage the new green grass to grow. Grass is going to be coming out of dormancy probably here in end of February usually. So that first time you mow, again, just make sure you bag all those clippings to get all that dead grass, kind of prevent thatch buildup in the lawn. But if you have any questions, give us a call at the office. Okay, so coming up next, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to put a top dressing and a liquid aeration on this customer's lawn. I can go into more details about those later, but that liquid aeration, we're having great results. It helps about 80% better results than just your core aeration. But we're going to go ahead and do the top dressing and the liquid aeration. We're also going to put our dormant oil on the trees and shrubs in this house. We are going to avoid the Arizona cypress as that can't take the dormant oil, but for all the other trees and shrubs, we're going to put that dormant oil on. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll spot treat some weeds here in a couple weeks, and then we'll put that liquid aeration and top dressing. Grass is coming out of dormancy, so as you get into the next round, we're going to put pre-emergent on the Bermuda lawns, and then we're going to put some heavier nitrogen based fertilizer on the zoysia. It has a little bit of St. Augustine as well. So we're going to do a couple different things for each type of grass, but that'll be coming up on the next round. Thank you.